All right, so Damon Bruce has been at this thing longer than I have, and he is a Bay Area man through and through. Even though he didn't grow up there, he is known by the masses, and he is going to be my connector to all of this. And so I appreciate his help and his support very much. And he hosts Damon Bruce Plus on YouTube. Go there, subscribe to the channel because he does amazing work there. Damon, how are you, buddy?
I want you to think of me as your sommelier or your concierge.
Nice.
And we are so happy, Damon, that you are going to be checking into the Hotel Oakland this Friday. It's going to be an awesome event. I'm going to tell you, my wife and I did a little reconnaissance a couple weeks ago. We went to line 51, which is the old bus route that ran through that neighborhood.
Awesome.
And they've got a bus in their brewery, like an actual bus, and they have turned that into where they serve kegs and taps, and it's going to be a great time. Hello. It's good to see you, man. It really is. You know how much I've always been a fan of yours, and it's got nothing to do with us having the rare first name. The Caucasian Damon is the rarest Damon there is. So it's always, you know, I've always known about you, and then the fact that this topic has really now brought us together professionally, I think it's perfect, and it illuminates how good and smart of a broadcaster you really are, because this is literally, I think, one of the juiciest stories in sports that has been mishandled, uncovered, and you smelled the rat, and you're coming out here to cover the rat. I knew you got a sponsor, so I even got a little last dive bar swag going on for you here.
Look at that.
And what you are going to be greeted with, Damon, is a level of appreciation and thanks from these fans who have been screaming into the void for over a decade now. So thanks for amplifying this issue. No doubt about it, man.
Well, I appreciate you saying that, and I'm so excited to meet everybody. We're going to have tons of giveaways at Line 51 Brewing Company. We're going to do the live show there as well. So next week, Damon and I will be hosting 2-hour show. Keep it locked right here to this YouTube channel, Damon's YouTube channel. We're going to simulcast this bad boy. And if you can come down, of course, come down and enjoy. We'll be doing a ton of giveaways and raffle prizes, etc. I do feel validated, not because fans are thanking me, but because I see people in the baseball media, the narrative turning. When Ken Rosenthal and Jeff Passan, two of the most insiders in baseball, say they smell a rat and they don't trust this and they don't know why this is happening, doesn't that make you feel like even if you can't stop the move, at least the narrative is changing slowly but surely?
It's incredible it took this long to change, because it doesn't make sense coming or going. It doesn't make sense in terms of the path out of Oakland, and it makes even less sense as an entry point into Las Vegas, which we all know is now incredibly valuable, fertile sports soil. And for them to seed this soil to a false prophet billionaire who has delivered on zero promises over the course of 25 years, Major League Baseball, what are you doing? Just from a business acumen standpoint, I can't believe that they would flip the keys to the Lamborghini that is the Las Vegas market to some guy who doesn't even know how to drive. It's amazing. Watch this entire thing die on the vine up in Sacramento. Vivek Ranadive, the owner of the Sacramento Kings, who helped clear the way for the single most ridiculous relocation detour you'll ever see in your life, the A's going to Raleigh Field, which is the AAA field. And it's a gorgeous AAA field. It is very much a more beautiful ballpark than the Coliseum has become. But you watch Vivek Ranadive, who initially extends his hand as help to John Fisher. He's going to use his other hand, I think, to subvert this team from John Fisher. I bet they never even get to Las Vegas. I bet you they either stay docked in the port of Sacramento, or somehow, some way, they're back in Oakland because Fisher finally throws his hands up and does sell or do something. All it takes is money to own a team. There's a lot of guys with money. Why hasn't Major League Baseball taken such a horrific personality in its ownership group and done away with it. And don't tell me that they always circle the wagons. We have a long history of bad owners being run out of sports by their own. And why it's not happening this time around, Damon, I can't figure it out. I don't know. I don't know why it's not happening. We have incompetence documented at every single turn of every negotiation. I mean, it's not my strong personal opinion that John Fisher isn't good at this. It is the documented, provable in court fact that he's awful at all of this. So it's amazing that, you know, if you can get rid of Daniel Snyder, if you can get rid of the guy who owned the Clippers,
Donald Sterling.
Thank you, Donald Sterling. If you can get rid of bad owners when the public turns against them, when their own ownership groups turns, I don't know how this guy hangs around. He must have pictures. I don't know. I don't get it.
Talk to us about the emotional state of A's fans right now. Where are they? What am I walking into? Where emotionally, where do they stand?
You have an abusive relationship between a fan base and a team. The fans that will be with us on Friday, the fans, I think, are just going to use this opportunity to get together and give each other what feels like it might be one last hug. I mean, they're crestfallen this has happened. This is generational robbery, Damon. You're taking memories away from the generations of the past. You're denying memories being made of generation of future A's fans. And believe me, there are more A's fans than you can see in any documented nightly attendance. There really are. Now, it was a systematic, intentional sabotaging of this entire franchise's popularity that has driven the fan base to this battered, emotional, cowering, just we can't take any more entity in the corner of the room. And it's sad what has happened. It's so sad what has happened to these fans. And the way that you would, I'm never trying to, compare sports to a level of domestic violence, but the way you cannot convince someone to leave their abuser, it feels like the diehard fans that are hanging on here just can't. There's never been more of a case to just walk away from a team once and for all, and there's still a diehard emotion and connection that these fans have with this team that prevents them from doing it. And it's noble and it's sad and it's rough watching. It's been rough out here covering this story because it matters to people. You will talk to someone at line 51, and they're going to come up to you, really excited to meet you, and they're going to start talking about the first time their grandfather, their uncle, their dad brought them to an A's game, and they're going to start to well up because they know that that's not a gift that they can now give to their children. There is an awful lot of raw emotion attached to this, and it's the whole thing is just so sad. It's so sad. It was so preventable. And John Fisher intentionally let his franchise die on the vine so he could make the case, just like in the movie Major League, that he had to relocate. He did everything possible to make that the environment this team now exists in.
Yeah, it's the slow death part of this. That's the worst part, is that this wasn't a Band-Aid ripped off. It wasn't you wake up and the Baltimore Colts are moving out of Baltimore in a Mayflower van. It is this long, identifiable con that has happened for years, if not decades now. And I've described it as orchestrated apathy. They wanted to engineer apathy so that they could say, see, we have to move. But my guess is that the people that will show up on Friday and support, line 51, last dive bar, the reverse boycott, the 68s and all of that, there must be a flickering hope that not all is lost yet. I mean, they haven't put a shovel in the ground in Las Vegas. Until that happens, there is possibility that this thing never actually gets off the ground, right?
There is one hook to hang your hat on. John Fisher's staggering incompetence. I'm not even kidding, Damon. I'm not trying to bully the guy. It is the truth. The man is an on-paper billionaire, so he's sort of a false billionaire. Then he is also someone who is without any public relations whatsoever. He has been absent along every step of the way of ownership. He has no political will. He has no capital. He has no savvy. He is not polished in any way, shape, or form. He seems to surround himself with people who are, arguably worse at the job of working for John Fisher than John Fisher is at being John Fisher. And it's a clown show. I mean, a clown show when it comes to finding solutions. They can't. I mean, they proposed a new stadium at Howard Terminal that Oakland actually got very close to greenlighting. And that's when the "we got to get to Vegas" nonsense really began. He, at worst, is galactically incompetent. At best, he's a bad faith negotiator. And either way, you have someone derelict of duty and unfit for office of major league owner. It's a shame. It's totally a shame that they just can't bring in some other a-hole billionaire to own the team. And there are guys who would buy this team and keep them in the Bay Area. And look, I already know it's probably happening in the comments. I'm not looking. There's a lot of reasons to doubt the city of Oakland. There are problems in the city of Oakland that, are mirrored in every big city, but are amplified in Oakland. When you're sitting in a major league ballpark, those problems aren't in the park with you. There was an opportunity, and there is a staggering amount of money in the Bay Area that the right ballpark built for the right crowd could have been the perfect solution for the A's. They didn't need another waterfront ballpark. They didn't need to mirror the Giants in that regard. You will see that they have the biggest parking lot, I think, that even exists in the state of California, a BART station right in front of, where they currently sit and occupy the Coliseum space. And they could have absolutely built a gem of a ballpark right in the opposing opposite parking lot and done very, very well. I mean, done very, very well. So it just, nothing makes sense from a media market standpoint, leaving one of the largest media markets for the smaller media market in Las Vegas. None of it makes sense. It doesn't add up in any spreadsheet or column you can put in front of me. It really doesn't.
Note that the Bay Area works in a lot of the same restrictions building ballpark stadiums as New York does. And there's not any extra land to start building things. And so Citi Field is built next to Shea Stadium, same parking lot. Yankee Stadium built right next to Old Yankee Stadium, same parking lots. You had MetLife Stadium built basically right next to Giant Stadium, same parking lots. This is what happens when you're crunched with space in these massive markets. And they chose not to do so in Oakland for whatever reasons. But I'm so excited to be out there. Friday is going to just be amazing on a lot of levels. And I want you to know that my listeners, my audience, the D-Aliens, super enthusiastic about this whole event. Grateful that you're going to help me walk me through this whole event. And Line 51, you did the site check and sent me the video. This brewery looks absolutely amazing. And they got an elevated area. We've got the big screens. We've got the speakers. So this whole thing, we're going to broadcast live on your YouTube page, my YouTube page. But this is going to be absolutely insane. I can't wait for Friday.
We're set up for success. I think we are going to meet a group of people who will remain with you. I mean, these people are going to touch your heart in some way. They really will. There is a level of earnest fan passion that I think only comes out when it's all being ripped away from you. And you are going to meet desperate people who have been, again, screaming into the void about how wronged they have been. Very few people have paid attention. It's awesome that you're paying attention. You are going to be welcomed with open arms, man. You are going to get the very best, the sunny side up of Oakland. I know it. I hope we got beautiful weather, because even though the Coliseum's a dump, you will see the charm in it. You will see the charm in it. I'm the kind of guy who likes Shea Stadium more than Citi Field. That's just me. I don't mind a major league dump. I don't. And that's what the whole last dive bar premise was built on. They could have made this ugly, disgusting ballpark a really fun place to have gone and watch a baseball game. And I'll tell you, I've been in there for some unbelievable playoff games. The Marco, Scudero, oh my God, man, there is so much energy with a great Oakland crowd. Warriors fans know this. Those Oakland crowds aren't quite the same in San Francisco as they used to be. And, Major League Baseball, as far as I'm concerned, can never run another we represent diversity and we're looking to incorporate more rainbows of the color into everything we no, if you're leaving Oakland, you don't give a shit about diversity. Don't ever talk out of both sides of your mouth again. This is the most diverse major league ballpark that you could possibly find. And to leave Oakland is to turn your back on being part of a community that, sure, it has its problems, but instead of being a part of the solution, you're abandoning them. And look, Oakland will have lost by the end of this year 3 professional teams. But they really aren't lost. Like, you're just a few BART stops away for a Warriors game than you would have been. We all know that one of the main reasons the Raiders did move is because the A's squatted on the lease and the rights to the Coliseum, sort of forcing Mark Davis into what turned out to be a very plum situation. I've been to Allegiant Stadium. If you're angry at the Raiders moving, you go to Allegiant Stadium and you'll be like, I get it. It's pretty nice. They got a plum deal there. The A's are leaving without a plum deal, without an escape hatch, and they can talk about how the land is being cleared and prepared for them in Vegas. I don't believe any of it. Like you said, until there's a shovel in the ground, it's all lip service. And we have been watching that play out in real time for a quarter century now with John Fisher. So, Damon, it's going to be awesome to have you out here. My wife is taking the day off that day. She's like, whenever there are Damons in need, she feels like responsible. We're going to have someone to help us out if something goes wrong. My wife does work in tech, so she can plug some shit in if we knock it out. So I think we're going to be in good shape. I really, really do. The Last Dive Bar guys are setting us up. I know that the mayor of Oakland is going to be coming on by. Grant Balfour is going to be joining us at some point in time. And a couple of other ideas are in the works, but I know that those 2 are confirmed. And let me just confirm once again how excited we are to have you out here, man. We're going to have a great day and a really good time at the game.
Can't wait, man. Cannot wait. You're the man. I will see you on Friday, buddy.
Travel safe, man.
All right, Damon Bruce joining us here on the show. You can follow his YouTube channel at Damon Bruce Plus. Watch his stuff there, especially if you're a Bay Area folk, you're a fan, wherever you are in the country. He does amazing work covering the Niners, the Warriors, the Giants, and of course the A's, etc.